Oh hi, it's your friend SBE here once again, and I have received a Leverless controller in the mail. That took a while to arrive. The reason why I really wanted this is because I have gotten super sick using a D-pad. I feel like it's just too imprecise, and having this sort of control allows me to be so much more precise and deliberate with my actions. The problem is that it's so different. While I may prefer it in the long run, for the moment I no longer have any muscle memory at all. But look at how smooth this feels. I got the on-screen controller now. There are so many combos I kind of need to relearn. I've also just not been playing Street Fighter for a bit because, you know, I wanted to wait until the new controller arrived. But everything's so weird. Like, I remember how to do combos, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do this in a normal fight. Especially at my master rank that I've now achieved. But at least I should be able to do my anti-airs a lot quicker, right? Or this trick I've learned. All I need to do is hold down and then tap right twice very quickly. And it just works. Oh no, someone's attacking me. Blah, 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 blah. Boom, done. You're out of there. So there's so many advantages you can get just from having this sort of controller. It's so much faster. I just kind of need to get used to the muscle memory. As is always the case with fighting games, it's just so much muscle memory. So let's see what we can learn, shall we? I'm playing arcade mode first, I don't trust anything. That's how you really know. We just need to... I don't need to know any sort of like fight knowledge. It's just about controls and muscle memory. I just want to make sure that I can do the things I want to do. Arcade mode is more than enough for that. I can't even get my moves to be like the correct like standing or crouching. There's a combo. That wasn't a grab. Oh, I've got my fingers in the wrong position. There's a grab. There's a grab. I forgot where my jump button is. Boom! DP. There's also a thought about like posture. The way I'm currently doing is my right hand is like angled like, I don't know, 60 degrees. That way I can easily hit like both lights, both mediums, both heavies at the same time. But I can easily also like switch it to both light and medium, you know. Come on. Let me hit him. There we go, got it. See, it's not too bad. Just gotta get used to it. I can do the same combo, surely, surely. I mean, isn't this also what character trials are for? Woohoo! I'm gonna just keep doing this one over and over again. Haha, AI. What are you gonna do, dive me? Got him. You can do it so fast now. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. Okay, we're only gonna get perfect parries now. Perfects only. Let's go. Shit. Oh shit! I was actually trying to do a drive impact there, but I forgot what buttons I was pressing. I looked down at my controller like a nerd. Like a person that doesn't know how to touch type. Absolute amateur. I don't know how to react to drive impacts anymore. I'm gonna be losing to gold players, aren't I? It was so much easier when it was just on a bind. I mean, it's still technically on a bind, but it's nowhere near where my hand is now. Yep, you sure did press the funny drive impact button, huh? Oh, I missed my drive impact. I did a regular punch. It's fine, it's a win.
Thanks for playing.
Well, I mean, I did something. Some things went well. I'm still damn awkward though. That's to be expected though. That's some master gameplay right there. So how long does it actually take me to do the combo trials for Cammy now, huh? How long could it possibly take? This isn't so bad, come on. I mean, how much of this is Cammy knowledge and how much of this is like controller stuff, you know? Because I know Cammy at this point. Oh my god, my fingers are really starting to ache. Ouch! I wouldn't mind getting like a rank reset and then just starting from the beginning again, because good lord. I need to put in the grind. That's all it really takes, man. Or maybe I just learn a different character, that could be fun. I might want to consider playing Jury, to be honest. Because I was always thinking, like, if I had a proper, like, stick input set up, Jury would be more accessible. I feel like Jury is really awkward on a controller. I pressed in between the buttons. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I can get it sometimes, but man, do you have to be fast. Look at my inputs. How do you do this before? Oh, that's the one. Let's go. I hate that trial. Never doing that again. Yeah. Wait, there's a difference between the hula gun combination overdrives? I never knew. Oh my god, I never knew. I thought they were all the same. Ah! Ah, I learned something new. Because on my old controller, there ain't no way I'm ever doing the lights and the heavies. Because like on the old controller, I'm never doing the simultaneous inputs like actually by pressing the buttons. I'm always going to use a bind. And so I didn't realize there was variance. With Jury, there's at least visible variance. But with this, I now know I could have been doing like this my entire life. You know, because if you do that one up close but with the higher jump, it just doesn't connect ever. That's a world of difference. Dude, stop it, man. Get the stupid overlap, man. I'm not even pressing the wrong buttons, it's just the timing thing because of the overlap. I need to let the timing expire so that my input will do the proper spiral arrow, man. What I could do is something like this. I start from the left and roll down. Because I will at least always, or at least more likely to do the one I want, right? Could do that. That would be more consistent. There we go. Ah. I'm just pressing buttons where there are no buttons. I'm pressing nothing. I'm pressing between the buttons. This is awkward to get right. Because I'm constantly like jumping my hands back and forth. Even doing this practice, I'm not getting it consistently at all. This is what I'm trying to do, but I cannot possibly. I cannot possibly do that. Oh god, that's awkward. What if I did 2 different fingers? If I use my ring fingers instead? That might work. Let's try it, let's try it. Now I know it feels awkward. Ugh, I still don't like it. Oh, I did a drive impact, fuck. Ugh. I don't know if that's muscle memory or what. It couldn't be. It could be like action memory, because I always do like a spiral arrow after in that situation. But to do another OD hooligan combination, I was so close. Hey, that's the one. Good lord, my hands are tired. So clearly there's some level of I can still do this because I know the character well enough, but it's awkward. I need to learn so much more to get the most out of this sort of control scheme. It's about learning the proper posture. It's about learning where my fingers feel most comfortable. It's about learning where my fingers need to be to make certain options available to me. It is a whole thing, and that's going to take a whole lot of time and dedication to figure out, and there's going to be a lot of transferable skills along the way, which means plenty of different things we should be trying. I might actually do a different character as well. Before I finish, I want to make it really clear how I feel about like the difference between the D-pad movement versus the button movement. Because when you're using a D-pad, it is sort of ambiguous where when you put your thumb down, what button is being pressed, right? Because if you imagine using a stick, you have a whole 360 degrees space of movement. And if you were to pick a number anywhere from 0 to 360, then it will have to decide what direction that is. So if you have a 90 degree angle, then that's always going to be right. Okay, and if you hit 45, then that's always going to be upright. So if you said somewhere in between, let's say 80 degrees, then that's probably closer to right than it is to upright. But if that's where you put your thumb, there's only like a small amount of wiggle room. Like, what is the number that is directly between 45 and 90? It would be like 22.5. So let's say 70 degrees then. That sounds better. If I put my thumb on a stick at about 70 degrees, and then I had a little bit of wiggle room of like 10 degrees, and sometimes it's going to be forward and sometimes it's going to be forward up. If you're using a D-pad, you're less likely to have, you know, it doesn't work in terms of degrees, but in terms of its physical structure, it's sort of like you have one pad underneath and you roll it towards the direction, and then it picks a direction based on what it's rolled closest towards. That's sort of how it actually works. So even though that the possible inputs in that situation are only the 8 different directions, it still feels like you could be between 2 different options, and it's ambiguous as to what you'll get, right? And that sort of ambiguousness feels really bad when you're trying to do something very specific. Because sometimes you'll accidentally do something that you never wanted to do. But with these buttons, I will only ever push a button down if I specifically want to do that. That or because I'm a stupid dum-dum that's pressing all sorts of buttons, and sometimes I'm pressing things that aren't even buttons. And that's why I really like having the sort of leverless sort of D-pad sort of thing. I don't know. The leverless sort of 8-directional movement. With a stick, it's larger, it's less likely you're going to make those sorts of mistakes, but it's not impossible either. So I just feel like leverless is the way to go all the time because of that. And because I was playing on D-pad before, I was constantly having those situations where I would push in a direction that I never wanted to do. But now, I will never have that situation again, down to the ambiguous input. Right? It's always going to be a very deliberate input on the controller. The only thing left is to really blame myself, right? Because on some level, while you could definitely say if you're not holding like constantly 90 degrees, it is your fault. But I feel like that's unfair. At what point does it stop feeling like your fault when the controls are too specific or too demanding? I believe that controls in all situations should never feel like they're too demanding, because that's not where the difficulty of the game should be. I think the leverless controller perfectly has like this sort of level of difficulty, but still entirely possible to do everything that you want to do without any sort of ambiguous inputs or ambiguous feelings. Feelings that something has happened and it wasn't because you did anything, it was like some unknown third entity has decided to start pushing random buttons without your knowledge. That's how it feels sometimes. Alright, with that I'm gonna end. I am SB, I am a doggo. Goodbye.
Bye bye.